You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann and we're delighted to be back here again on WNDZ 750 AM here in Chicago and also on our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago, which is the account for the Archdiocese of Chicago. We're kicking off the holiday season here on the Voice of Charity today. Catholic Charity's 75th annual celebration of giving is underway. And with us today are two of the leaders who are going to tell us about this amazing milestone for this incredible program. Melissa Lucas is Interim Director of Volunteer Engagement, and she is supervising the entire Celebration of Giving program in Cook and Lake counties. Enrique Alonso is Catholic Charities Volunteer Engagement Manager for Cook County, which is also an enormous job. And Enrique is also instrumental in leading the Celebration of Giving this year. Welcome, Melissa and Enrique.
Good morning.
Hi. So delighted to be with you and help kick off the Christmas season talking about the 75th annual Celebration of Giving. Melissa, can I start off with you? Can you please share with our audience a little bit about the history of this amazing program?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. Celebration of Giving started for Catholic Charities back in 1947. So parents who adopted children from St. Vincent's Orphanage gathered together to buy presents for children who had not been adopted yet. So 75 years later, the program has obviously expanded. We are delighted that this program really just personifies the spirit of Christmas at Catholic Charities and is going strong after all these years.
And can you help our audience gain an appreciation for how large this program is? How many gifts were collected? Obviously, the last couple of years have been somewhat unusual with the pandemic, but on average, how many gifts are collected across Cook and Lake counties each year?
Gifts is interesting. I'm not sure that I have the number of gifts, but I can tell you that we sponsored last year 371 families, and there were over 1,600 total individuals in that family count. We were also able to provide toys for almost 5,000 children throughout Cook County for our programs.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Melissa.
Yes.
And you're right to say that gifts isn't all it's about, because many families, many donors will take a family to sponsor, or they'll take, I'll take 10 children to sponsor. But then they also bring other things that they think that they might need in their home: linens, towels, electronic appliances. People go crazy with generosity because, as you said, it personifies the spirit of Christmas and makes us all proud to be part of it, right, Melissa?
Absolutely.
And can you also clarify, you mentioned the total number of gifts in Cook County, but there's two different programs, one in Cook and one in Lake County. Before we go any further, can I ask you, Melissa, to please share the contact information for anybody listening or watching today's show who'd like to get involved in the Celebration of Giving this year?
Absolutely. So we do this operation in Cook and in Lake County. So if you're interested in being a donor or a volunteer in Cook County, you can call 312-655-7401. That's our Celebration of Giving hotline. In Lake County, you can call 847-782-4210. You can also email us at cog@catholiccharities.net if you need any more information or if you're interested in finding ways to be involved.
Those are really important key numbers that we'll repeat at the end of the show too, Melissa. Thanks so much. And then can you just give in a brief overview, how does the program work?
Sure. So in Cook County, we have two programs. We have Sponsor a Family and we have the Toy Shower. For Sponsor a Family, our Catholic Charities case managers work with the clients that they're serving to fill out wish lists of gifts for the children that they would like to receive, or as you mentioned, any household items that they're very much in need of. So we then work with the donors, whether that's individuals, families, parishes, or corporations, to match them with the families who are going to participate this year. So the donors receive the wish list, and then they can buy or donate the gifts that are requested. For a toy shower, our case managers provide the age and the gender of children and youth in their programs. And then our donors collect new unwrapped toys so that we can distribute them to the program to then deliver them to their clients.
And in recent years, two wonderful employees of Catholic Charities, Andrew McKernan and Emily Lewis, I know they spearheaded last year's efforts. In recent years, a great effort has been put into making this as simple as possible for donors, right, Melissa? To have online shopping lists so people can go onto Amazon, people can go onto Walmart stores and choose from the Catholic Charities wish list, have that gift shipped, and make it as easy as possible, right? What are some of the other ways people can donate in very simple, easy ways from their home?
Sure. I think the online wish list is definitely the easiest way to do it. They shop from the list and then it's shipped directly to us at the warehouse. So that kind of takes some of the work out of it for families. We have a number of drop-off locations all throughout the city. So we try to make it easy and accessible for donors to drop off their gifts at our locations.
Wonderful. And then also a lot of parishes step up, don't they, Melissa? And they say, please assign us this many families or this many individuals. And then they have Christmas trees like in their back vestibule of the church, right? Parishes are a big part of the basic donor base, aren't they?
Yeah, parishes, schools, corporations, a lot of groups get together and they sponsor a family drive so that they can collect gifts for multiple families, or they host toy drives in their churches, their schools, their neighborhoods to collect the toys. So it's really a great way for groups to come together so that they can give back to their community and have kind of this shared experience together.
Our live stream is showing some of the photos from the celebration of giving over the years. And that corporate piece is another key component, Melissa, that so many corporations in Chicago, this is a world-class city, and so many of our large corporations will also say, please assign us this many individuals or this many families. And then not only do they have internal gift collections, but then they are willing to come to the warehouse with us and sort and distribute the gifts. It's really quite inspiring, isn't it, to see how far-reaching this program has expanded and grown throughout Chicago over the last 75 years?
It really is. And we really couldn't serve as many families and children as we do without the generosity and the support of our donors, whether that's an individual or family or a parish, corporations. Just the fact that they want to be involved and participate with us is really to the benefit of all the clients that we're serving through this program.
Beautifully said, Melissa. And Enrique, I'd like you to bring you in this conversation. I know that for so many people being part of the celebration of giving, I've heard them say it actually makes their Christmas. They love giving back. And many people say that once you come one year, you're hooked, that this just becomes part of your Christmas tradition going forward. Can I ask you to please, with all of your hard work on this program already this year, can I ask you to share a few stories of people you've spoken with and what, makes them feel fulfilled of contributing to the celebration of giving?
Well, we've already started receiving emails from different donors, both individual families as well as companies, and they are so excited to start just the holiday with these basically requests for families to adopt families. And not only are they excited, but our employees are also excited about connecting with families, drafting up those lists of different gifts or household goods. Our own staff are basically waiting for us to distribute the gifts. And I know some of the programs, I've been mostly on the side of distribution of the gifts, and I know that families are excited to start talking about the holidays. Our own employees are excited and case managers are excited about starting all this process of trying to engage the different families and just even waiting for us to distribute the gifts directly to the families. They're excited about this year. It's been a different to last year's, but this year I think they're they're even more excited about the families that they're going to be giving these gifts to. So all around, I think everybody is excited. Everybody's geared up. And I really appreciate all of that because I'm right in the middle. I'm able to talk with the donors as well as talk with some of our employees who are going to be actually distributing this, and seeing the smiles of little kids' faces and families about what they really need.
And so can we talk a little more about the distribution? I mean, clearly Catholic Charities is not trying to interfere with Santa and his processes, but we are aware that many parents, low-income parents, want to give Christmas gifts to their children and are unable to do so. So sometimes, Enrique, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we are preparing gifts for their, the right ages of their children and packaging them up and then quietly giving them to parents so that they have gifts to give to their children, correct?
Correct. Absolutely. Some of the parents actually choose to come in to the WIC food centers or other distribution areas with their children so that we actually see the little kids, and other parents come without their kids, and then they basically wrap up the gifts during the final days of Christmas. And they enjoy all that process, and then they're able to give their children some of the gifts that were donated. I think it's a good feeling for both types of distribution. And we know that some of the families don't have to be able to give to their children, and being able to have the opportunity to give these gifts to their children is just an awesome feeling.
And that's a key part of it as well, that we need to be planning ahead much earlier than expected, because everything must be distributed by about, the second week in December, right, Enrique?
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So
we start planning. We start planning already in August on working with the donors as well. And right now we're currently working with the case managers to basically come up with the different lists and contact families and things like that.
And so that's why we're devoting these 2 weeks to a celebration of giving. October 11th today, talking about Cook County. And then next week, we're going to have some of the leaders in Lake County coming on the show. So we help everybody understand. I know Halloween isn't even here yet, but there's a reason why we're talking about this so early. And it's all about the families. It's all about the low-income, needy families who might not otherwise have Christmas unless we were able to assist them in this regard. Correct, Enrique?
Correct. Everything is just trying to set up so that everything is organized and ready. Santa's never late, right? And we're trying to make sure that is possible.
Well, Catholic Charities is so fortunate to have you two leading the charge in Cook County. And if you'll bear with us, we're going to take a quick break here on The Voice of Charity. And when we return, we're talking Christmas here on The Voice of Charity today with Melissa Lucas and Enrique Alonso. Please stay tuned.
We are hiring. Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Chicago is looking for mission-driven individuals who want to help make a positive difference in the lives of people in need throughout Cook and Lake counties. Be part of a diverse, talented team of professionals in the largest human services organization in the Midwest. We are dedicated to helping people chart a more stable, happier future for themselves, and we accompany anyone in need, regardless of faith, gender, race, or ethnicity. Competitive salaries and generous benefits add to the satisfaction you'll have every day knowing that you're helping us amplify our impact in Chicago. To see our list of employment opportunities, visit CatholicCharities.net.
I am a seminarian.
The church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
what inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
Did you know that Catholic Charities accepts car donations? If you're ready to free up space in your garage and put a stop to all those expenses that go along with owning a car, we will gratefully accept your donation, whether the car is running or not. You choose a pickup time that is convenient for you, and we will make the donation as easy as possible, free of charge. You'll receive a charitable donation receipt as well. We accept all types of vehicles nationwide, and you will know that your donation is made to Catholic Charities, an agency you can trust. To learn more about donating your car, call 877-786-4483. That's 877-786-4483. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and I'm so delighted today to be here with Melissa Lucas, who is the Interim Volunteer Director, the Interim Director of Volunteer Engagement, and she's supervising the entire Celebration of Giving program in Cook and Lake counties. Also with us today is Enrique Alonso, who is Catholic Charities Volunteer Engagement Manager for Cook County, and he is instrumental in helping with the Celebration of Giving in Cook County as well this year. And before the break, Melissa and Enrique, we were talking about how expansive this program is, and we are all happy to do it and excited to do it, but it's challenging. Can I ask you both to share what are some of the biggest challenges that you encounter in distributing and collecting and making this whole program happen? Melissa, may I start with you?
I think one of the biggest challenges is just making sure that we're able to meet the need of our clients who are participating in this program. So making sure that we have enough donors and have enough individuals who are willing to purchase or donate gifts for the families that are participating. When donors respond early, that helps us match families with plenty of time so that donors can shop and then drop off their gifts. I think another challenge for us is just the time frame. Where we set up at the warehouse right after Thanksgiving, we're there for about 2 weeks. So it is a lot of work. It's quite a production in a very short amount of time to make sure that we're able to sort, organize, and then distribute all of the gifts to the program.
And as I mentioned, the last couple of years were especially challenging with the pandemic, hindering how much we could all be together and hindering, from a terms of a hygiene standpoint, washing the toys and all of that was a big part of the distribution process. Were there any lessons learned, Melissa, from the pandemic that have actually helped the operating process of streamlining things just a little bit more than even before pre-pandemic days?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just trying to have multiple drop-off locations so that helps with kind of traffic flow, so that donors can drop off their gifts to Catholic Charities. The other thing is really working with our lead volunteers at the warehouse so that we can set up a schedule to make sure that we have proper spacing and proper coverage at the warehouse when we are sorting and organizing the gifts.
And what is the average amount of time that volunteers come to the warehouse? Is it 2-hour shifts or 4-hour? How does that work?
It's a little bit of both. It really depends on availability. As I mentioned, we set up shop at the warehouse right after Thanksgiving. So we help turn it into Santa's workshop. So from lighting to shelving units to clothing racks, we really transformed this empty warehouse space into workable space. Thanks to our incredible lead volunteers, led by Mark Netzel and the wonderful Michelle Medzigian. They help us really create this workable space so that we can sort and package all of the gift requests for our clients. So if people are interested in volunteering at the warehouse to help us sort and distribute those gifts, they can contact our Celebration of Giving hotline or email us at cog@catholiccharities.net, and we can certainly speak with folks about volunteering at those shifts at the warehouse.
And Enrique, you mentioned to me yesterday that you've already spoken with a number of people working on Celebration of Giving. What is their feeling or their thought being part of the 75th year of this very special program in the city of Chicago?
They're definitely so excited about it. They already have in mind some families that they're going to be getting lists from, including some families that are just arriving to Chicago. So they are coming from a different location to the Chicago area. So they're already they're excited again to think about some of the gifts for their children, what the children are actually going to be picking out. In addition to some stories where these families don't have very much and they're just moving to a location that was just provided by their church. And so they're excited to reach out to them to basically start talking about, hey, this is a program that Catholic Charities has. There's donors who contribute in order for us to get the gifts. And they are excited to just start the conversation and realizing that somehow in the next few months, they are actually going to be receiving some of the gifts that they need.
That's so beautifully said, Enrique. And the compassion that both of you have is I'm sure, leading the way to everybody you talk to, because you're making it all about the clients and us bringing them Christmas joy. It's beautiful. Melissa, as you talked about case managers getting lists from their family members, I can't help but think of all the refugees that we have accepted and welcomed to Chicago, and especially in the last year. I'm sure those case managers are amongst your first to submit lists, right? Because not only are these children in a brand new city, so much of what they knew before that defined home and defined their life is gone. And representing Christmas through this program, it would be a little joy at the end of probably a very difficult year for them. I'm guessing the refugee resettlement case managers are actively speaking with their clients. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. They're really trying to identify the clients that they work with who are going to be most in need and who will most benefit from participating in Celebration of Giving. Not only do we want to make their Christmas wish come true and provide, their wants, but we also want to meet their immediate basic needs. So that's, preparing for winter. Families need hats and coats and gloves and boots. They need things for their home, bedding, towels, cookware, and utensils. So really trying to identify the families who would benefit most from this program, but also trying to identify the items that would be most requested for their family.
Well, and I know so many donors really appreciate having that specific information. They love going, my family and I have done it. We love going shopping and knowing that we're buying a coat for a 13-year-old boy, that kind of thing that specifically you're choosing it for. It makes it more meaningful for everybody when you're shopping together.
Yes, our case managers really put in a lot of time and work to make these wish lists as specific as possible. So providing sizes, providing preferences on things so that we make it easy for the donor. And it's so fun for the donors. I've heard from a lot of donors who love to get together and they take their family and they go to the store and they're able to pick up the gifts that are on this wish list. So it's really just so meaningful all around, the donors, and their generosity. I know how appreciative our clients and the families are. It's really just a wonderful project to be a part of.
May I ask each of you to maybe share a moment that already, has happened this fall that has made you feel like, I'm really glad I'm working on this program this year. Enrique, may I start with you?
I think that first email that I received, it was a company. And she just started with the company and she basically inherited the leadership role of trying to get her coworkers excited about this program. She's heard so many good things about the program and she's excited, and she had called me, she had emailed me, and she was like, okay, let's get started. that kind of motivated me. And it should be kind of the opposite, but I'm really excited for some of the emails that I've already received from some of the companies and just family members where they're saying, we do this every year. We want to make sure that everything, when my family comes to Chicago, that we're doing this together. So that's exciting and motivating at the same time.
Well, and it makes you proud to work for Catholic Charities, right, Enrique? That this
Absolutely.
program has such an important, history in the city of Chicago, and that, like as I said, it's a world-class city with many corporations. Having this Catholic Charities celebration of giving on their calendar every year, that's really powerful, isn't it?
Yes, it's very unique too because we provide these types of services throughout the city of Chicago, Lake County, in Cook County, and provide for seniors, youth, families, refugees, all of very diverse families that are out there that are in need, and you're able to touch each of those communities.
Beautifully said, Enrique. How about you, Melissa? Is there a moment or two that you can recall already this fall where you're, delighted to be leading this important program?
Well, I think it's hard to not be excited when you're talking about Christmas and thinking about a project that is Christmas based, right? I already have carols in my head as I'm washing dishes and typing emails because that's just kind of the nature of this project. But I think for me, it's been, working with the programs and the case managers. We've been starting to collect some of the gifts and the wish list, and I know just how excited they are. They have a lot on their plate of work that they already do day to day. And so this is something that's extra, but it's something that they really look forward to. I've heard of programs that host Christmas parties or do special, cookies and hot cocoa when families come in to pick up their gifts. So it's just really exciting to see all of the thought that goes into not only distributing the gifts, but making it just a memorable experience for the clients and the families.
And can we ask you one more time, Melissa, to please share that information for anybody who in our audience, either listening or watching today's show, who'd like to be involved in the celebration of giving. Melissa will share that contact information one more time.
Absolutely. For Cook County, you can call our Celebration of Giving hotline at 312-655-7401. In Lake County, that number is 847-782-4210, or you can email our team at cog@catholiccharities.net.
Well, as I mentioned, I think Catholic Charities is so fortunate to have you two leading it in Cook County. And then, as I said, your three colleagues, Jim Wogan, Barbara Campbell, and Sue Fowler will be with us next Tuesday to talk about Lake County. But I know all five of you are a very solid team together to make sure that every family who is in need of gifts receives them this year. So I want to thank you both for all you do for Catholic Charities and for inspiring us all with the 75th annual celebration of giving. And thank you so much for being on the show today to tell us all about it.
Thank you so much for having us, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'd also like just to take a moment to thank again our colleagues here at the Archdiocese of Chicago who do so much every week to make the Voice of Charity happen. Vince Girasoli, Mike May, and Brian Brock, we're so grateful to all of you and to everyone here at the Archdiocese for working in partnership with us here at Catholic Charities. That is another edition of the Catholic Charities. It's another edition of the Voice of Charity. We invite you back again next week to join us again. For now, this is Katie Bredemann, and we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.
Join us every Monday through Friday at this time for Catholic Chicago. You can stream our programs live or listen to past programs by visiting our website, archchicago.org, and clicking on Radio TV. And please connect with Catholic Chicago on social media.